Yeah, I know. I got that feeling too. I got this feeling. Somebody's laughing at me.
Hopefully the viewers. Where do we even...
Very professional of us.
Yes. Where do we even start with this one? We're talking about... Well, first off, neither one of us is... Actually, no, I take that back. I've watched an episode. The first episode.
I've watched zero. Goose egg. Nothing. Not a zip zilch.
Mm-hmm. And what we're talking about today, folks, is Batwoman.
I'm a woman. No.
Yeah, Rex has been really digging this song. This is like the 87th time I've heard him say that in the course of the entire show existing. And yet he gets on me for not having good new material. Yeah. Real nice, pal. Real nice.
Well, it's not my fault. They made that the official battle cry, all right? When they released that first trailer.
All right, I'm gonna talk to you, your missus. All right, I'm gonna find out that you in the shower singing that, walking out. I'm a woman.
I wouldn't be surprised if I did it. I'll own it.
Oh, the goodness for you, I think Rex works for both male and female. In case you're trying to tell us something, nudge, nudge, wink, wink,
hint, hint.
All right, so for those of you who live under a rock, the CW had introduced...
Or have good taste in movies and music and TV.
They wouldn't be watching us. Now...
You heard it here first, folks.
CW had introduced the character Batwoman into their little Arrowverse lineup, or I like to call it the Berlantiverse.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Berlantiverse. Greg Berlanti, he's the guy who made
all the shows. Jeez. Wow. You got to come up with some new names on that one.
Sounds better than Arrowverse, especially when the Arrow's no longer going on.
But yeah, at least Arrowverse made sense because it kicked it off. It started the whole thing.
Yeah, and the executive producer, Greg Berlanti, was at the helm.
Yes,
just like he was at the helm for The Flash.
We don't call it the Foggyverse.
Supergirl.
We don't call it,
Well, yeah, because it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and no one wants to call it the DC TV Universe because everyone's gonna look at it like, hey, where the fuck's Batman?
well, Gotham, glossing over that.
Oh God, I think everyone's still trying to forget that one.
And just in case you didn't know, I have never watched any of these shows. Never watched any of the
CBD oil. What?
Any of the CW dramas.
Superhero dramas, I think, is the genre you're looking for.
No.
I only watched a few episodes of Gotham season 1, and then I only watched a clip on YouTube of the Batman reveal at the end of the show. And the first thing I thought when I saw him was, I'm not wearing any hockey pads.
Really?
Yeah, because he looks like he's wearing this one's actually wearing hockey pads. Because here's the thing, they casted people. For example, they had a young woman, I forget her name, who played Selena Kyle. And then when they introduced adult Selena Kyle / Catwoman in that final episode, they casted a different actress. They still used the boy, the young man who played Bruce Wayne in the earlier, all the other episodes. They still brought him on just a standard with the cowl and all that. But I'm fairly certain they got somebody else to voice him as Batman.
Oh, man. Oh, you gotta be joking.
All right. So now, fast forward over to the CW with the introduction of Batwoman onto the CW Arrowverse universe, whatever the fuck we're calling it. They introduced the character, and when they first said that Batwoman was going to be part of it, everyone was like, cast this person, because of course, anytime you introduce a new character, everyone fantasy cast it. I'm probably the biggest guilty person about that as well.
Yeah, you are the biggest
I am.
guilt.
And I'm also fucking dead on balls accurate, but no one will fucking listen to me. So, news had broke. They're getting Ruby Rose to play Batwoman, Kate Kane. And then the image is like, oh, this is what everyone was like, oh, okay, I can, Then we get it, and they're like,
Yeah, with pre-production photos and then the actual photo.
and then the show, and then they decided, hey, fuck it, we're gonna do a show off of this. And then the show kicked off, and everyone still was like,
See, I never watched the show because it never appealed to me, but from people that I know that watched that saw a couple episodes, a few episodes, they just didn't like it from the beginning. Like, yo, they and they weren't in the minority. In fact, they were the majority. Yo, when you start off a series and you have 1.8 million viewers, and what happens? By the time your 20th episodes, you've lost over 1 million. You're down to 600,000. Like, damn.
Here's what I heard about the Batwoman.
Yeah.
It's more enjoyable than Supergirl. But from what I've seen, it's making the same sins as Supergirl. See, Supergirl, just like Batwoman, just like Supergirl, should I say?
I'm just a girl. Somebody had to do it, and I was gonna take that.
Get out. All right. So, Batwoman made the same mistake that Supergirl made. They don't have a rogues gallery. As opposed to even trying to develop, because I'll give Supergirl credit. In the first few seasons, they were trying to develop her with her own stories going on. But then eventually it became that they started to rely too much on, well, here's some Superman bad guys.
Yeah, didn't they have like Krypton, Brainiac and things like that?
Well, yeah, Brainiac 5, who was played by the actress, Laura Vandervoot, who played Supergirl on Smallville.
Okay.
All right, and
they were digging deep on that one.
Yeah, they've had Parasite in the show. One of the current running baddies right now is Lex Luthor, played by John Cryer.
Okay, yeah.
From when the first episode that I saw, the first and only episode I saw, it seemed like they were trying to go and establish her as her own thing. They had, her own baddie, and I'm like, you know what? A+ to you. You know what?
You want to do that. You need to. You're
trying to go and be like, we're not trying to rely too much. Yeah, she's she's part of the Bat family. We're not trying to rely too much on Batman stuff, with the exception of her using Batman's equipment. But from what I'm hearing, it starts ending with she's the one that faces Hush.
What?
Yeah, they introduce Hush, and in the very end of the season, they cast an actor who is supposed to be Hush, because I forget the guy's last name. The guy who is Hush behind the bandage, Tommy something.
What you don't know is Tommy Wiseau.
What?
The whole time.
Oh God.
I did not hit her.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. They introduce him at the end, like he makes himself look like Bruce Wayne. So they introduce an actor like, oh, this is what Bruce Wayne could look like.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, it gets confusing and all that stuff.
But sounds very confusing.
And even though, because what CW likes to do is they like to hit the auto renew button on a lot of their TV shows, which they did with Batwoman. Batwoman was already confirmed season 2. When all the shit with Corona clears up, will be in the works. And Ruby Rose went and said, no, I think I'm good.
Yeah, she stepped away.
Mm-hmm.
Or was fired, or...
No, it is a mutual agreement between the two parties. All right.
Are you her PR rep?
No, I'm not. But this is what's being reported.
Yeah.
She wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And the studio was like, yeah, I think she should go.
Yeah. No, they weren't going to fight because, especially what a lot of people don't realize, and I've seen this go on the anybody who's watched any Star Trek series for any significant amount of time, whether it be Star Trek TNG, the original, Enterprise or whatever, Voyager, my favorite DS9, they're not short days. You're shooting 16-hour days. You're working, 6-7 days a week. They're not. These are long-term commitments. And then you think that like one of the running things was Patrick Stewart when he first got hired. He signed on for multi seasons, but he was like, he didn't think it was gonna last more than one, and it's like damn near 10 years later, he's still doing this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are just not built for that, and I'm sure after 16 hours, do it again. All right, but this time
Another.
There's so many points, times where you're gonna go and you're gonna be like, fuck it, I'm done.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Exactly. And they were like, you know what? I'm sure after enough incidents on set or whatever, well, not incidents, but we'll say disagreements.
Yes.
It was the smart, and in fact, it's the smart move on her part. All right, to walk away. Especially, this show is really doing nothing for her reputation.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It's not like the way this was designed. It was not going to be any iconic role. It wasn't going to be like, how like you associate a character with that character, or a person with that character. Like, Patrick Stewart is Captain Picard. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Something like that. You're not going to find, from everything I've heard, there's nothing that was going to save this. And the smart move, and she was on an upward trajectory, especially after John Wick 2 and things like that.
John Wick 2, Triple X, Return of Xander Cage, Meg. Do I keep going?
She was on a high after Orange is the New Black, and then she did John Wick.
That's what's funny to me too. It's like, is that to go and say that she didn't know what she was expecting going in? I mean, you just did a series. Granted, yeah, it was a 1 season, one and done, but that 1 season,
but
you should have prepared you like, okay, look, this is how this is like. If you thought this was long, you're now committing from a 10-episode arc to a 21-episode arc.
But see, that's the thing. Well, I think it was supposed to be originally 22 episodes.
No, 22.
But
21.
I'm sure. Well, you got to realize too, Orange is the New Black had less episodes, and I'm sure they were shorter shooting days for her because they only probably bring in the characters as needed. So they try to shoot them, and so she might have had a couple of 16-hour days, but they might have been like a week's worth of 16-hour days, not 6 months of 16-hour days. That's very different. I've done it on my job, where I'm doing 12, 16-hour days, day after day, day after day after day, and after that first week, you're done. But then when you can finally get a day off and you can sleep, fine, great. But when you wake back up, you blink and you're back at work again, you get 1 day.
Yeah, shit gets crazy. Yeah, I'll give you that. I can definitely give you that.
And I'm not here to defend her. I can see both sides of the both sides from WB's perspective. They don't want that, and Ruby Rose doesn't want that. So
so one of the execs on there, was it Marc Guggenheim?
Mm-hmm.
He stated in an interview with Collider. I actually have the quote written right here. I'm just look down here. I was talking to one of the Batwoman writers the other day, and we were saying how this is a great creative opportunity. I think there'll be people who come to the show, quite frankly, just to see how the writers choose to handle this.
Yes.
He might be right about that.
You know what? He's absolutely right about that. I'm sure there's going to be a massive spike in, when that first season. But my question is, how are they going to be able to retain people? Are you going to have another launch where it's 1.8 million viewers and then you're down to 600,000 again?
Mm-hmm.
How do you retain those viewers? How do you keep this? How do you,
and you gotta have more than just the shock factor of like, where do we go from here?
Exactly.
You've also got to go and present a product in which okay, I can stick around for this.
Yeah, which I think they did that with Ruby Rose. I think they rode on her name alone.
Yes, very much so.
I don't think they allowed her. I don't even think she probably had any input on the writing room.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do feel is working against the show, against all the shows.
Yeah.
There is a heavy saturation of superhero shows. All right? We're not even going to count because since the Netflix Marvel shows are over.
Yeah.
All right. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending this season.
Yep.
Arrow already ended.
But how many seasons does Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have?
It's on seventh season.
8? Wow. I thought they were up to 8 at this point.
I think they took a year off.
That's right. Yeah.
You got Supergirl about to hit season 6.
Mm-hmm.
Flash is going to go to season 7. Legends of Tomorrow, I think, is going to season 5 or 6.
Definitely.
You got Black Lightning going to season 4.
Really? I thought it was on season 3. Wow.
Yeah, they just ended season 3.
Oh, damn.
All right. You're also introducing a new Superman and Lois TV series.
Mm-hmm.
You're going Batwoman on season 2 with a new character. And also Stargirl, which is also premiering on
isn't that going to be on...
It's a premiering off across 3 platforms. It as of right now, as of this recording, it's premiering on DC Universe.
Yes.
And I think about a day later it shows up on CW.
Yeah. And then you know what you're also not factoring in?
What?
On Disney Plus, they're going to have...
Oh, yeah, Disney Plus.
Moon Knight, She-Hulk.
Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision. Oh, yeah, I was getting to that.
Oh, yeah.
Not even counting the supposed countless superhero projects they have over for HBO Max. There's supposedly a Green Lantern cop show they're working on. Supposedly, Constantine is supposed to be getting a show in the very near future. In fact, there's rumors that it might just wind up on a CW to fill the void that they're expecting Supernatural will leave behind.
And you know, we're also forgetting things like Lucifer.
Oh, yeah, like Lucifer, which is on Netflix.
You know, it's like... You know, oversaturation.
I think what all these shows should consider doing. See, 2 shows they have. One of these 2 shows, I don't watch one of them too much, but the other one I do watch it when it ends, and that is Legends of Tomorrow and Black Lightning. Black Lightning, it kind of started off a little strong, but it quickly lost me. Legends of Tomorrow, it was like the reverse. It was losing me, but then they brought in Constantine, and they brought me back in. But I didn't really watch the season. But what the 2 of them are doing well and correct, if you ask me, is they're short seasons. Each season is 10 episodes.
See that, and that's perfect. That's perfect. A 10 to 12 episode arc.
Yes.
You know, boom. You get to the point. There's no fluff, no filler. You can get your character development in those times.
Exactly.
There's plenty of time to do that. There's so many things. You're right. There's no point for a 22 season.
I mean, honestly, let's take that even beyond superhero shows. I think that should be a formula that should be introduced more than just superhero shows, or at least if you look at Netflix. Netflix actually has a formula in which they'll have seasons that are like, it could be like 16 episodes.
Yeah,
but then in one half of the year they'll release part 1 of that episode of that season, and then the other half they'll release part 2.
You know what? But you know what I think it takes? I think it takes vision. You know, I think it takes like you didn't watch Mr. Robot.
I did not, but I promise you I will.
But I'm telling you, that show, there is almost nothing on, isn't
there also short seasons on that one too?
Yeah. Everything was done with a purpose. Everything was done, and guess what? When they ended the show, it wasn't because the ratings were bad. They didn't end the show because they were canceled. They were just this is the end of our story. Exactly, and I think that's what directors need. I think it takes people to be able to stand up and walk away.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shows that have overstayed their welcomes, and it's harmed them for it. One show example, and it was just a show I loved, Dexter.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel Dexter should have ended at season 6, and they should have rated. Like in my mind, I mapped it out in a different direction, but they overstayed the welcome. You know. All right, and I give them credit because the way they started up with season 8, and all the episodes leading up into the finale, it really had my interest. Like, Jesus Christ, where the fuck are we going? And then it just really dropped the ball in the last episode. I wouldn't say even dropped the ball. It wasn't a fumble. They just literally walked up to the other team and like, here you go. You take that. That's yours now.
Oh, man. Again, that's some things that need to happen. Like, you know, but how many times are these series going to fail before people start to realize, like, look, we want something different. We want something cool. We want something. I look for Mr. Robot. Because normally what I tried to do, because I worked so late, I got home, you know, and I caught the rerun. You know, I couldn't, but like I told my significant other, like, yo, I'm leaving work 2 hours early. I'm using 2 hours of overtime. I'm going home early. I got home and I called her and she was like, you were serious about that? I was like, yes. I'm here for the series finale. Like, that's it. Like that. Like, yeah, I left home. We gotta go, man. You know, Elliot needs me. and it was worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's interesting too is Mr. Robot was on the USA Network, right?
Yeah.
You know, another show that you and I both love that was on the USA Network?
What?
Burn Notice.
Yes.
And you know what Burn Notice did? Yeah, they had long seasons, but those were split up.
Yeah.
You had the first half of season 1,
Mhm.
like in the was it the summer, the early summer, late spring?
Exactly.
And then the second half, you know, in the winter,
Yep.
right before the year ended out. Yeah, I understand most shows have a mid-season finale, but you know what? It's a short mid-season finale. It's like at most we're not seeing a show for a fucking month.
I think what Batwoman had a mid-season finale, and it was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, something
Like,
that.
it was like a 2-week hiatus.
All right. Now, what's interesting about this as well is because the studio wants to hire another actress of LGBTQ plus representation.
And
All right, and two people have thrown their hat in the ring as of right now. One of them being an actual actress, by the name of Cameron Grimes, I believe.
Okay.
She's more of soap fame, like she's on The Young and the Restless.
Okay.
And the other being that of WWE superstar Sonya Deville.
Okay, because I thought you might have said Ruby Riot.
Oh, no.
Again.
That's fine. Me and Rex, every time we were talking about the news on this, I kept on saying, oh, Ruby Riot.
And I'm like,
And then he's like, dude, it's Rose. I was spending time with some friends the other day, and my friend Sam, I'm hanging out with her. She wanted me to try to play Dungeons and Dragons. All right? And as I'm playing, her mom's on the phone, and her mother's character was named Ruby. And everyone in the room is like, every time she would go and say, and Ruby, everyone in the room would say Rose. And I'm like, right. Oh, wait, no, Rose, definitely Rose. That game prepared me for this recording. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam's mom. You know? Now, but here's one issue I did take with this. All right. Listen, I am of a belief of whatever floats your boat. You want to love someone of the same sex, go for it. You want to love someone of the opposite sex, go for it. You want to go for both. I feel sorry for you, but go for it. To quote George Carlin, you know, what a curse it is to be bisexual. Imagine wanting to fuck everyone you meet.
You know, and you got to realize, you know, if you want to love a tree, love a tree.
Yeah, there you go. You know, I saw it in Evil Dead. It's possible. Now, all right, I can understand people want they want a type of like hey, look, I'm an LGBTQ person. Here's an LGBTQ person who's also an actor, yada yada yada. But you don't necessarily need an LGBTQ person playing that role.
Exactly.
The ideal is it's acting. It's make pretend.
It's make pretend.
Sorry, or make believe. Whatever.
No,
so, you know,
you're
you're
right.
pretending. All right. Guess what? Superheroes don't fucking exist. With the exception of Phoenix Jones, whenever he gets back out, I'm sure he's gonna don the suit again, and he's gonna be saving his neighborhood.
Oh, jeez.
But
You know,
you're pretending.
yeah.
All right. And listen, it's the same sense that, you know what? Should I just not go and consider a person who is a representative of LGBTQ for a role? Like, I'm sorry, you're not straight, so I can't give you this role.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right on that. I think they need to focus right now on the best actress for the role.
Exactly.
And then from there, you can, like, you know, if you get somebody with some, you know, if they came and said, we're going to get Rosario Dawson, I'd be like, I might watch this show.
Oh, I love her. I love me some Rosario Dawson.
She's got the name. She's got the acting ability.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And, you know, she also voices Wonder Woman in the animated shows, movies.
You got to remember, I just watched Justice League Dark and was like,
yes.
The Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Yeah, well, here's a great example about that too. Neil Patrick
Harris.
He played the character Barney Stinson in How I Met Your Mother, who was this womanizer playboy. He's all about getting laid, and he would wear the shit out of a suit.
Suit up.
Real life, the man's gay. He's married.
But every guy was like, I
But
want
you
to
know
be
what?
like
Exactly.
Barney, you know, like-
It was to the point that, I'm not going to lie, at some point, you would just look at him like, you're gay. You sure?
You sure?
Okay.
You know, if I didn't watch Harold and Kumar, and, you know,
Oh no, it's even better than the very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
yeah.
They make
Oh,
reference to
geez.
that. I was like, oh
wow.
God.
I'm mad you just brought that flashback. And
I just watched that movie a couple of weeks ago too.
Oh God, and you know the scene that popped right in my head right away.
Oh, but yeah, listen, don't limit yourself.
Yes,
Because, the ideal is you want representation to matter, but you know what? How about this? You want the character of Kate Kane-She is a lesbian.
yeah,
You want to be like, listen, look, a lesbian character can work.
yeah.
All right, don't limit yourself. I'm not saying that there's no good LGBTQ actresses out there, but you know what? If I can go, let's say if I had to choose between this Carmen Grimes. And let's say if you're going to give me an actress in the caliber of, let's think real quick. Even though it's fucking impossible, but hey, you never know. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay.
If Scarlett Johansson wanted to be like, you know what? I played Black Widow for God knows how many years. I want to do this TV show stuff. I want to play Batwoman. An actress with the chops. Scarlett Johansson.
No,
And which is funny too, because she did receive some backlash because she got casted to play this character who was a man but becoming a woman in transition. Yeah. And it was like, oh, how come you can't find an actual actress that is in transition and be like, how about you just leave Scarlett Johansson be playing this role?
Let her do the role. Let her see what she can do.
You bring levity to the situation of characters like this. But sometimes you don't necessarily always need that character. Listen, I'll hire a gay guy to play a straight person, and I'll hire a straight person to play a gay guy. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. You're preaching to the converted. No, I think
by converted, you mean you're turning into a woman, right?
I'm a woman. Uh-huh. No, but that's the thing. Like, you need to focus on the acting abilities and the person, like I said, who can stand up when be used to these 16-hour days. There's not a lot of people who can do that.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right.
You need to find somebody. Focus on that. Make sure people understand. Hell, if you got to say, before you commit to a person, y'all need to do like a test pilot, like week, and see how they handle that.
Yeah.
Just write up, take an old episode and have them redo it and just see how they act. See how they respond. If they're good after that first week and they haven't cracked, you've got your person. Focus on that first.
Gotcha.
Well, I felt like that was a rant and a half.
We'll see what direction they go with. We'll see. I'm sure. Let's be honest. It's not to say that this thing is going to prevent Ruby Rose from ever getting any bit of work.
Oh no,
she's a big name.
Oh, I'm sure
she'll continue to get business.
In 3 months, we're going to hear about the new movie.
I know she's got another project coming out called Doorman. I haven't really looked into what it's about, but that'll come out when people are allowed to go back to the theaters and frequent with other people outside. All right, and the same. We'll see what direction they go with the show and see who they bring on board.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting to see, and quite frankly, depending, I might even tune in.
Exactly, if they get a good enough person, big enough star power,
yeah,
maybe that will be the day I check into a CW drama.
There you go. All right, well, folks, that's our show. If you have anything you want to chime in on the matter, leave it in the comment section. I've been DJ. He's been Rex. We are the Sons of Cinema. We'll see you next time.
Sun's out. Buns out.